Sarah owned a boutique law firm. Clients loved working with her because they felt her passion and care. The problem was Sarah would do anything to avoid doing the boring stuff: case research, document review, contract analysis. She'd find every excuse not to do it. She delegated to junior associates even when it made more sense for her to do it herself. Sarah convinced herself she was being smart by focusing on her strengths. But deep down, she knew she was avoiding this work because it was incredibly draining and somehow harder than it should be. Last month, she had to stay up till 3 a.m. reviewing contracts for her big clients because she'd been putting it off for weeks. And even then, she felt like her brain was fighting her the entire time. Sarah told me she felt like a fraud because the other lawyers seemed to be breezing through this stuff, but for her, she always just got stuck in the mud. Today, Sarah not only does the boring work, she actually finds them not boring at all. If you're experiencing something similar, I'm here to tell you do not have to struggle forever. Hey there, it's Dear Rappaport, and on this episode of the Business Brain Podcast, I'm going to share with you the exact steps of what you can do to have your own transformation. But first, procrastination, overthinking, distraction. You've tried all the hacks and tools, but nothing works for your ADHD brain. That's because the solutions were created for those who created them. We need solutions for your brain, not band-aid solutions. Solutions that solve the root problem. Learn more about how we can optimize your ADHD brain at lifepeaksuniversity.com/OYB.
While you are doing any task, you, without even realizing it, are using your 28 thinking skills. When the thinking skills you need to use are strong, doing the task happens easily. Skills you need to use are weak, doing the task becomes a challenge.
The struggle that Sarah had came from a weak thinking skill of perseverance. Perseverance is your brain's ability to push through on mentally demanding or tedious tasks until they're finished, even when they feel uncomfortable. Sarah wasn't struggling because she didn't know how to do the task. These tasks simply had more details and were less rewarding in the moment. Think about it. In the courtroom, Sarah got instant feedback. She could see if her argument was working, could feel the energy of the room, immediately got responses. But sitting alone, reviewing documents had no immediate payoff, no excitement, just steady mental work that felt like it would never end. People with strong perseverance can finish tasks that aren't immediately exciting, and they build confidence in their ability to handle challenging situations. This way, when they delegate, they're doing it out of empowerment, not out of desperation. Without good perseverance, even capable people end up in Sarah's cycle, avoiding important work until it becomes urgent and then fighting their brain every step of the way. With Sarah, we use 5 techniques to help her improve her perseverance. I'll share with you all, and you take what works for you. Number one, move the challenge to a sweet spot. When a task is too challenging, it can be hard for your brain to do and you just want to give up. When a task is too easy, it can be very boring and you don't want to do it. We want to move tasks into the sweet spot of challenges. Not too hard, not too easy. If the task is too challenging, find ways to make it easier, such as breaking it down. If the task is too easy, find ways to make it more challenging, such as working in an unusual order. Instead forcing yourself to push through the resistance, Sarah learned to adjust the task to the sweet spot of challenges so her brain could feel more stimulated without getting overwhelmed. Number two, gamify the process. Turn boring tasks into games, set timers, create point systems, or compete against your past performance. Sarah started timing how fast she could identify the key issues in each contract and tried to beat her previous records while maintaining accuracy. Number three, and this one's powerful and completely underrated. Recognize that doing the boring work is a skill. Understand that your ability to persist through tedious tasks is actually a valuable skill in itself. And suddenly it becomes the real challenge. Instead of I have to get through the boring contract review, Sarah started thinking, I'm improving my ability to sustain my focus on detailed work. The challenge is in building the skill. Number four, connect to the bigger picture. Before starting any tedious task, remind yourself why it matters in the bigger picture. Because while you may have no patience in doing the boring work today, you do hopefully care about why you're doing this work in general. Sarah would start each contract review by thinking about how thorough analyses protect her clients and builds her reputation. That connection gives meaning to the work that otherwise felt pointless. And number five, this is my favorite, growing your AMCC. The anterior midcingulate cortex, or AMCC, is a part of your brain that helps you persevere. Every time you do a hard task and you complete the hard task, you actually grow your AMCC. The next time you have a hard task to do, it becomes easier for you to do the hard task because your AMCC is stronger. So even if right now the task is really hard for you to do, remembering that it is growing your AMCC that will help you because you know it is also for the future. It's not just for now. You can take this to a whole new level, but purposely giving yourself hard tasks to do, such as doing a cold plunge, running a marathon, or doing a task you really don't like, but you know will challenge your brain, and you grow your AMCC, making it easier for you to persevere. These strategies sound nice. But what if the work is genuinely boring and there is no way around it? I know that's what you're probably thinking. Well, Sarah thought the same thing, but what she discovered was that boring is just another code for my brain isn't engaged. Once she found ways to engage her mind, the work stopped feeling boring. Perseverance isn't about forcing yourself through boring tasks. It's about training your brain to have the ability to do demanding work. Right now, I want you to pick one of the five techniques we spoke about so you can have an easier time persevering. Number one, move your challenge to the sweet spot of challenges. If it's too challenging, make it a little bit easier. If it's too easier, make it harder. Number two, gamify the process. Number three, recognize that doing the boring work is a skill by itself. Number four, connect to the bigger picture. And number five, grow your AMCC. Remember, when your perseverance gets stronger, you stop avoiding important work and you don't get overwhelmed by life's challenges. You know you'll be able to handle whatever comes your way.
That's all for this episode of the Business Brain Podcast. If you enjoyed it, send it to a friend who secretly wants stronger thinking skills too, so together you can grow your businesses with peak brain performance.